Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome to another BoshNRoll Legacy video. Today, at the request of Patreon subscriber The Blank Man, I am playing Dark Bant with a significant twist. On the surface, of course, you will see Baleful Strix, Witherbloom Command, Light from the Loam, Uro, Endurance. You know the formula by now. This is Dark Bant. What you will also see is Field of the Dead. So we added Loam Bant into Dark Bant, which is something that my Patreon Discord has been messing around with for a little while. If you're interested in those conversations, join the Patreon. There's a Discord where we talk about things like adding Field of the Dead to Dark Bant. The mana base has made some concessions to Field of the Dead being in it, mostly Zagoth Triome, which I have some concerns about because Dark Bant is frequently trying to hit its second land drop untapped in order to cast a Witherbloom Command or Loam and hit the next 2 or 3 land drops. We'll keep an eye on that. But more exciting is the addition of trade routes. EDH All-Star trade routes. 1 and a blue enchantment, pay 1, return target land you control to its owner's hand. Pay 1, discard a land, draw a card. You can pick up your lands and discard them for cards. This is pretty cool with Light from the Loam already. Like, there's a good chance, if we have enough time and mana, we can turn Light from the Loam into Ancestral Recall directly, not just effectively. Normally you need Brainstorm to turn those cards into gas, or Field, or some way to cash out on them, but Trade Routes gives you a pretty direct 1-for-1, 1 mana, 1 land, 1 card. And down here, tucked at the bottom, Time Warp. 5 mana sorcery. Target player takes an extra turn after this one. What are we doing with this? Mystic Sanctuary. When it enters the battlefield, you may put target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library. Time Warp. Crack a fetch land. Put Time Warp on top. Do the Time Warp again. What's going on here? Trade routes can pick up Mystic Sanctuary, replay Mystic Sanctuary, buy back Time Warp. Now we're taking infinite turns. This is a tight little package that adds a pretty enormous dimension to the deck. What I really like about this combo is Trade Routes is not the most embarrassing card you could ever put in a Magic deck on its surface. Time Warp is not the most embarrassing Magic card you could put in a deck on its surface. And together, they might just win you the game. I'm really into free combos or incidental combos or cheap combos. Like, it's not free to put a card like Trade Routes in your Legacy deck. But it's not like Show and Tell that doesn't function without Emrakul and vice versa. Each of these cards are playable on their own. Like, even just attack with Uro, cast Time Warp, attack with Uro again, pass the turn, is tremendous value, even if you don't pick the Time Warp back up or combo off with it. Talked about Trade Routes plus Light from the Loam. I hope that comes up. And outside of that, we're just playing Dark Bant with Field of the Dead. This is obviously not the most up-to-date version of Dark Bant. If you want that, follow Pokemoki on Twitter. He's been putting a lot of work into the archetype. I've been playing other stuff in the meantime. But this is certainly a hot take on Dark Bant that Pokemoki will not be playing on Twitter, to my knowledge. Come here for that exclusive content. This is the Blank Man's Time Warp, Trade Routes, Dark Bant. Let's get in. On the play, in round number 1, just Island Ponder Keep Hand. I do like that this deck gets to just be a Bant deck most of the time. I should probably take stock of what lands are left in this deck. 1 Underground Sea, that's a difference. There's 2 in normal Dark Bant. 1 Bayou. Okay, just got to keep track of my colored sources. If I fetch the Underground Sea right now, that exposes one of my black sources to Wasteland. But I do want to set up Witherbloom Command if I draw it. And Flooded Strand can't catch Bayou, so Underground Sea it is. People act like this mana base is complicated, but really you're just priced into casting whatever fucking spells you can. There's the other black source, but no Loam, no Command. I'm actually going to shuffle this. I don't need another force. I don't need Jace for a while. There's the loam. Easy. Easy. I just went from hoping they're not a wasteland deck to hoping they are. Oh. Are we in Trinosphere? Oh, okay. That is actually a problem. Simply because I don't have Witherbloom Command in my hand. Normally I would let that card resolve and laugh about it as I drew an extra card. But instead we have this. I can brainstorm, try to mix things up, or I could just loam right now. I have land drops. Like, that's not something that's missing from my hand. So I'm going to brainstorm while I still can. Don't need 2 loams. There's the trade routes. Are you ready, opponent, for what I'm bringing to the table? Okay, let's see what happens here. This could still be almost any Ancient Tomb deck. They could Blood Moon me right now. They could cast Karn right now. I don't know. Let's find out together. And Karn it is. This is the difference between having Witherbloom Command in your opener and not having one. Just picking off the Chalice for free while I advance my board state and keeping my force in hand versus 2-for-1ing myself and losing all of that. Don't love it. Got the liquid metal coating. Maybe I did want that other Force of Will. You'll never know. I'm going to get the Triome since it's free to do right now. I think I have to cast Narset and just hope. I don't have white mana. I'll get Tundra. Okay, Narset, find me a force effect for liquid metal coating, or we're basically already dead. Oh, look who decided to show up. You're a funny, funny guy, deck. Okay, there's Witherbloom Command. They can take out my Triome, and then I'm just, like, hoping for the best. At least they have to bobble me now. That, changes... Like, Narset changes the dynamic of bobble matchups quite a bit. They can only bobble once per turn. No, or they could just hit me with the lattice right now. Field of the Dead is in my deck. So is Force. I can't Force of Will. I don't have any blue cards. All right, never mind. I'm dead. Okay. Yeah. If I could still pitch to Force of Will, like I had, there was no outs there because the cards become colorless. But Field of the Dead can beat Mycosynth Lattice. But that was a lot to ask of that particular interaction. Narset, Pernicious Deed, Force of Vigor, Seeds of Innocence. I do like that this particular build, it has the full artifact smashing package. That is not to say it's guaranteed to smash artifacts, but it does have as many things as it can. This has to be a Saga deck. I don't think I want Plows. I don't think I want Veil, Run Afoul, Carpet. They might use their graveyard in a way that they care about. Leyline or Surgical. We did see a Seed of the Synod on the way out there. It was mono brown until that Seed of the Synod showed up, and now that gives me something to think about. The Baleful Strix is not important in this matchup. If I don't want this, that opens up 2 slots. I could get Raven's Crime and Mystical Dispute involved. At 3 mana, Mystical Dispute also counters Karn. Like it can just become bad mana leak. Doesn't have to target blue spells. I'm gonna try this. Okay, I like Pernicious Deed. I like Brainstorm. I don't like the lack of force, but you don't get everything you want. I'm gonna play Trop and pass. Maybe I wanted to lead on Misty Rainforest. I'm recalibrating to having a Triome in this list. Oh well. I guess that's why I didn't lead on Fetchland. Okay. Prismatic Ending, great. I'm gonna put Island and Misty on top. I'm gonna draw the Misty, fetch for Tundra, clear the Chalice. There's Emery. Which hit Karn and Lotus Petal is the only artifact in their graveyard for Emery. Have to get a white source. I eventually need a black source, but do I want the second blue or the second green? Probably the second blue. And the Chalice. This hand was a heater. Just turn 1 Chalice to protect Emery from Plow, and then Emery post Chalice. And still cards in hand. Sigh, okay. Casting Lotus Petal gets a Thoppy. I do kind of need a Deed for 3, which is a lot to ask out of a Deed. I think I need to Brainstorm and hope for a gigantic banger. The Force of Will does help. The Prismatic Ending does not. I don't think Jace, or I do need to keep some Vertical Mass of blue cards. If I put back Ending and Land, okay, then I can play Misty this turn, and then I can draw the land next turn, play Deed with Force backup, and then blow Deed on the following turn. And that's sort of the game plan as best I can do it. And the Deed will pop a turn before Urza Saga does. But they will get to plan for it. I don't love that. There's no way around that, though. I do have to Deed for 3, or else they just rebuild immediately. Urza, that's a no from me, dog. Okay, my Force Protection is gone now. I do still want to draw this land. I'm going to need lands eventually. I want to get Bayou, I think. Not Underground Sea. Because Bayou casts Endurance as well. Okay, please don't have Force of Will. But I think they would have fought over Urza if they did. Or they just let Urza be a 2-for-1, which is also a reasonable take. I can sweep out Saga, any number of tokens, and Lotus Petal this turn. If I need to blow it for 0, I just hope that I get to untap and do it for 3. Prismatic Ending is the top card of my... Oh no, I just shuffled. I don't know the top card of my deck. In for 3. Please don't have Pithing Needle. Deed also gets Seed of the Synod out of here. Hopefully this pause right now is them doing damage control. Like, Lotus Petal for blue, replay it, sack you for blue again right away, draw a card off your Thopters. I hope that's the math they're doing, and not how to just kill me. Oh. That also dies to Deed, unless they mix something else up here. Like committing the Urza into the Deed. They must have done some calculation that the Urza sacking is worth it. Like the Urza mana lets you sack extra artifacts to draw extra cards or something. I don't know. Or their last card in hand is Pithing Needle and F you, homie. But if they had Needle, they would have led on it, because I can still just Deed for 0 and clean up the construct, which I couldn't have done otherwise. Gonna get Zagoth Triome while I can. And drawing Dispute when after the Urza. That's tough. But yeah, let's Deed for 0. Or Deed for 4. Yeah, not Deed for 0. That's the opposite of what I want to do. And I'm just gonna do it now before they can float mana off Urza and shit. X equals 4. Feels good. Looks like they're going to take a spin off Urza anyway, or they're going to start sacking to Sai. They do have ways to soften this blow. All right, they are going the Sai route, drawing 2 cards on the way out. Or they get 3 cards because they can tap Saga as well. But do they have 3 artifacts? Yeah, they do. Okay. Or 6 artifacts. Yes, they are able... Oh, they just left that floating. Why? What the hell is this? Oh, that's scary. Yeah, that would have been nice to Mystical Dispute on the way through. I can't be complaining. I am playing a perfectly reasonable, fair game against this completely cracked, unfair deck. Bobble just saw Mystical Dispute, so they know about that one. Luckily, Endurance checks the shit out of Hull Breacher. And Narset rebuilds the game afterwards, if there is an afterwards. There's the land I was looking for last turn. Thank you. Come again. I hope they just keep mashing and have no respect for Hull Breacher. Chalice on 1. I'm not going to fight over that. Yes, no respect. Green, green. I am going to splat their graveyard. They're an Emery deck. Having Hull Breacher, I think, tells me they're an Echo deck as well. That's not a guarantee, but like Hull Breacher is just a powerful blue thing to power out since you're playing Ancient Tomb anyway. But I should respect Echo at least a little bit. And Narset. Let's start pinching this door closed. They're at very low life from their double Ancient Tomb draw. Rest down's good against anything this deck tries to do. Okay, cool. Woo. Dancing around a Pernicious Deed for 4, a multi-turn line to cash that out. Yikes. I can bring in Plague Engineer to clean up Thopters, but Deed and Seeds already do that. I'm not going to bring in my 1 Leyline. Leyline against this deck on turn 0 is good, but like casting it on turn 4 is not good. That is the theory behind 1 Leyline, that being a black deck where the game's going to take a long time, even if you draw it late after turn 1 and cast it later, it'll still do something. I don't know that that's the case against this deck in particular. And that Hull Breacher was a smart bet because they were correct that I would board out a lot of my plows here. I don't think I need Loam. At least not both of them. Bring a plow back in. Wow, I really don't want to respect Hull Breacher. They also showed me Emery Urza. Yeah, they showed me the whole shit this time. So this is different than a deck where you don't want any plow at all. Sorry, Time Warp Trade Routes. I promise I will do my best to use that combo, but game 3 on the line, my opponent's not messing around over there. They have Hull Breachers, which makes trade routes a lot worse. 3 plow might be too many, though removing Emery is pretty important in the early game. I have to get through Chalice. Okay. Alright, I will register my 3 plows on the draw. I'd probably go fewer on the play, but getting behind is tough in this matchup. Well, there's that card. I'm going to keep. I can answer Chalice a variety of ways. I can pressure a graveyard if there's an emergency. What I don't have is Force of Will if they Karn me. Lotus Petal, Mox Opal, Urza's Bauble in the graveyard. Plow? Plow? That's not a plow. Exiling Mox Opal doesn't do anything. I'm just going to land go here. They do have 4 mana if they want it with the Lotus Petal. There's Sai. Starting to draw extra cards and make extra Thopters right away. This is not worth pitch casting Endurance to stop. Not even close. Ponder, thanks for showing up. They saw the Tundra in my opening, or with the Bauble, so I'm gonna use that. I am interested in Narset and Brainstorm eventually. Oh god, they're just ramming spells. They don't give a fuck. I don't have a Force. That is the thing that I don't have. Maybe I should have kept the Brainstorm to YOLO Force if I needed to. Alliance Eye Diamond. Okay. Are we just getting echoed right now? Or they're preparing for the Lattice next turn, more likely. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, this one got away from me. Indeed is still really good here. Kills the LED, 2 of their lands, their Opal, all of these Thopters. They saw Narset off of their Bauble. Just gonna start getting squished by... Oh, there's Echo. Alright, never mind. I'm not gonna pitch Pernicious Deed. Not doing it. Okay. Well, their graveyard's disappearing anyway. What do I care? Okay, so I can fetch Savannah, plow Emery. Yeah, plow Emery on the way out. There's that Swords to Plowshares we brought in, or left in. Another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have plenty of mana to Lattice. I think I just have to hold up Endurance. I have to pressure this Karn somehow. Haven't seen an Uro at any point. Haven't even looked at the picture on that one. Redrew Alliance Eye Diamond. Alice on 1. I guess I am giving up on Plow, if that's the play. Sai is a difficult Magic card to defeat when you're a fair deck. Seeds would still almost stabilize this board. The Karn is a problem, even post Seeds. 6 mana floating. They're going for Lattice. Force it. Do they have their own Force? Okay, they did not. I'm not sure if I wanted to Endurance before or after the Lattice. Like, Lattice just being in their deck somewhere where they can draw it is kind of terrifying. I don't have to Endurance them, but if I don't, Emery is like representing GG at any point. I'm gonna eat this Thought Monitor. Alright, come on, Seeds of Innocence. Wasteland, not helpful. Drop this Field of the Dead and pass the turn. Hope I see another day. I will get that into play at least. That can play through Lattice. Kinda. As well as anything can. Oh, Urza. And all of these side tokens are mana. I'm just gonna F6 and see if I draw Seeds of Innocence off the top. There's Emery. Glad I tucked the Lattice if Emery is here. But there's a Lattice somewhere in the deck for Urza to hit. Oh, backup Karn. Endurance tucking the cards in the graveyard instead of exiling them is actually pretty huge here. Because if that was like Tormod's Crypt or something, Karn can get cards from exile as well as your sideboard. like Lattice would just be in exile for Karn to get, and we're just straight up dead. I'm not beating this liquid metal coating either. But I did sandbag my black source. They can take me off double green and start destroying lands next turn. Yeah, just shoving damage makes sense here. You got Thopters to burn. Even sack the one that I'm blocking to draw a card if you want. Okay, deck. I need them to liquid metal coating the wrong thing and then also draw a banger. Deed I can cast regardless. Alright, Seeds is off the table now. Jace, alright, yeah, we're dead. Yeah, absolutely smushed. The sideboard is loaded against this deck, and it still wasn't good enough. Difficult to match up. On the draw in round 2, first appearance of Uro in the league, and this hand is kind of a stinker. How many lands are in this build of the deck? 23. Somewhere between 1 out of every 2 and 1 out of every 3 cards in the deck is a land right now. It's closer to 1 out of every 2. But I don't have the Witherbloom Command or Loam to even really convert if the next card is a land, so I'm going to mulligan. Okay. We keep this one. Oh my god, I can play Boseiju for mana, then pick it up to destroy a thing? Holy shit. I think I am going to send Force of Will to the bottom, which hurts my soul, because if I have to cast Force of Will, it means I have to pitch the trade routes. Let's hope that's not what's going on. We got a Once Upon a Time revealing Boseiju. Oh, right. This is that, oh, there's that. I like that. Though, 100 doesn't cast it, but Boseiju does. Okay. Pass the turn. We're clearly playing in some sort of lands or depths or something here. It could be 12 post, it could be green-white depths, could be, there is a Naya depths. Okay, 12 post confirmed. I am going to leave up Boseiju to destroy the... Oh, I could have destroyed Expedition Map with Witherbloom Command. Not going to get another look at that one. Alright, fine. Please don't Vesuva me. Alright. I might be getting greedy here, but... Okay, let's see if I'm going to end up punished. Force of Will, Savannah, Brainstorm. I want the Brainstorm, but I want the Savannah first. Play Savannah. Pass the turn. If they activate map, they've played around me. If they try to copy post, yes, that's what I was looking for. And I'm gonna get Underground Sea. Or is I need to start putting islands into play. I'm gonna get Underground Sea and destroy the targeted cloud post in response here. That's the play I was trying to line up last turn, but I blinked and let them keep their expedition map. Elvish Reclaimer. Maybe wanted to force that. Too late now. Oh wait, no, I have fucking Swords of Plowshares in my hand. Definitely not forcing that card. Embarrassing. Okay, Swords to Plowshares. Target Elvish Reclaimer. And then if I target Expedition Map, it means they can't copy post. Either way, they end up with 2 posts this turn, but I can at least force the play. Okay. Milling them versus milling me. They are a Zenith deck with some toolbox. They are a Remnant Excavator deck. They're an Elvish Reclaimer deck. Yeah, lots of reasons not to mill them. And I could spike my Wasteland here. Witherbloom Command has 2 targets, both the player that's getting milled and the thing you're milling. So I don't need to worry about getting fizzled. They designed this card well, that you can't fizzle it by removing any one target. Every mode targets. Unlike Cryptic Command, where if you like bounce target permanent, tap your team, and you remove the permanent they're targeting, then they don't get to tap your team either. There's the post they just mapped for. I kind of need to Time Warp to win this game. I need to go off. Pithing Needle, probably naming Boseiju. But I have the Prismatic Ending. I am also a Wasteland deck, though. Let's see where they want to go with that. Yep, named Boseiju. Copied post immediately. There's 1 Wasteland in the deck. Also a Jace the Mind Sculptor in the deck. I can just Uro here, see what happens. If I play Boseiju as a land, and then blue, green, green, blue. Here comes Uro. Please hit Wasteland. Nope. That's okay. I can ignore this Pithing Needle. I could end the Pithing Needle. I think I'm going to ignore the Pithing Needle. In trade routes, picking up Boseiju is a line that's available to me, but I think trade routes is more important as a blue card right now. They have zillions of mana. Oh yeah, it's just Emrakul time. Okay, didn't matter. Yeah, that if this deck starts to get any ground off you, you're just fucked. Into the sideboard we go. I am not well suited for this matchup. It's like Boseiju or Wasteland and start looping them early and often, or bust. The combo kill is good here. What do I actually want? Raven's Crime could pressure their payoffs if I can't control the enablers. There's not a lot to like here. Oh, Surgical Extraction is cheese mode. If I can Wasteland or Boseiju a Cloud Post and rip the rest out of the deck, that's something. Force of Vigor will have targets, but are they good targets? I like the Plows because they do have the Reclaimers and the Zenith half of the deck. Maybe I don't need all the Plows. Baleful Strix is not great here, but is Force of Vigor better? Probably. Okay. I'm going to do this. I'm actually kind of playing to the Time Warp, like, very intentionally here. Well, I was playing to the trade routes, and there it is. I'm going to keep and hope that Ponder delivers the goods on Wasteland or Boseiju. Endurance, Force. This is not what I want. I'm going to shuffle all of this. Burrow, okay. Yavimaya, that could help me. Come on, Witherbloom Command. Alright, I found Boseiju. It's not the command, but it's not bad. I'm not going to play trade routes here. I am going to Boseiju in the end step. Probably should have fetched my Triome there instead of getting cute with the Yavimaya. Come on, Surgical Extraction, before they activate that map. Burrow, let's go. Show me a Wasteland or a Surgical. Okay, got to land into play. They are going to get a Cloud Post here. But that is... Oh, Bojuka Bog. Okay, yeah, that's smart. That takes out Boseiju and Uro. Yeah, take your time. You're going to win the long game. As far as you know. I'm going to fetch my Triome right now. Ooh, Loam. Okay. Jace. How about we do some Jace-related stuff? Brainstorm with Jace. Raven's Crime, Witherbloom Command, Narset, Loam. I can Loam 2 lands up next turn. I can crack my fetch. Raven's Crime's actually really good in that world. I think Witherbloom Command and Narset. Though keeping Narset for Force lets me keep my trade routes around. Teferi is an easy pitch to force. I'm actually going to put Witherbloom Command and Life from the Loam back. Then pass a turn. I'm drawing Loam. I can fetch a black source. There are only 3 black sources, so I can get all my black sources into play and crime them multiple times. They Cavern, or Once Upon a Time for Cavern. Map. Ugh. I could have forced the map, but I still have hopes that I can do better. Fetch for the Savannah. Or do I have enough islands? I will eventually, yeah. No, I think I want Tundra here, and then I can go Loam. I did it this way because if I get the black source first, then I can't crime 3 times. I might not be able to crime 3 times anyway. Brainstorm with Jace. I should have done this before I played the land drop. Don't Dredge Loam, don't Dredge Loam, don't Dredge Loam. And put back Strix and Uro. Strix and Teferi are both easy pitches to force, which is not a strong argument to keep a card in my hand. Maybe I just skip criming them, let them commit a little more to the board, and then I could Uro this turn. Yeah, that sounds better. Put back Strix and Teferi. And then I actually do want to shuffle those away. I'll get Savannah and then Uro, which lets me play Flooded Strand, which gets Underground Sea, and I can crime them. Get started somewhere. Discarded Glacial Chasm. Okay, you probably didn't need that one. Good call. Vesuva can become Bojuka Bog. All of this is distraction, though. I'm trying to take infinite turns. There's one Uro left in my deck to win the game with. Come on, Time Warp. All right, Jace, find me the Time Warp. None of those are Time Warp. I don't think I need prismatic endings right now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I should shuffle. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I Strix, then that's only one hit to find Time Warp. Witherbloom Command, prismatic ending. Caracas is not the worst thing I've ever seen, but these cards are not good. Prismatic ending and Witherbloom Command can go on top of the deck, and then I'll Narset, clear those shitty cards. Oh, there's Time Warp. There's Time Warp. My opponent's heart just fell into their butt. Blue, black, get Strix into play. Now I need a fetch land or the Mystic Sanctuary straight up. Zenith for 3. Pretty sure I just force like anything here. I'm trying to combo off. They did have a Cloud Post at the end of the road there. All right. Okay, deck. I have 2 Jace activations and 2 draw steps and a Narset activation to make Mystic Sanctuary happen here. There's a Force of Will. Jace, Brainstorm. There we go. Put back these 2 additional lands. Play Misty Rainforest. Time Warp myself. Time Warp, target me. I have plenty of islands here. Mystic Sanctuary. And we're actually doing it. Would you like to concede, opponent? Do you see the combo? I'm going to attack for 1. Then I'm going to pick up my Mystic Sanctuary. Then I'm going to go to my extra turn. Return Mystic Sanctuary to my hand, and we're off. Time Warp again. Mystic Sanctuary again. Target Time Warp. Brainstorm. I need another land, actually. Okay, there it is. Then I can put back Force of Vigor and Force of Will. And then I can Uro, which puts another land into play, which lets me pick up my Mystic Sanctuary and attack for another 1. Then Uro can escape next turn, and we're all set. Time Warp myself. I mean, certainly no one will complain that this combo's too fast. Sanctuary. Okay, opponent. How long are we going to do this? We're crop rotating. Force that. And then Brainstorm with Jace. Found a land. Not that I need it at this point, but it's there. Okay, now the game will end very quickly. Opponent's still not interested in conceding, though. I guess that's fair. Can't tell you what your time is worth. Time Warp. And now we're really singing because Uro is in play. So put Time Warp on top. Attack. Time Warp's in my hand now. I get 2 turns in a row. That's enough to win the game. I plus Jace targeting them. I'm not even going to show them that Wasteland is a card in my deck. Uro trigger, put in Mystic Sanctuary. Brainstorm with Jace. And Time Warp. I believe I still have my land drop for the turn. Yep. Rebuy Time Warp again. Fuck yeah. It was probably wise not to spend all that time warping. But if I do this thing once on camera, I'm going to do it right. Not going to show you Wasteland. Okay. 946 left to win game 3. Should be plenty. Yeah, their plan to play the control deck where they got Bojuka Bog and like Vesuvid Bojuka Bog instead of like turboing into Cloud Post is smart a lot of the time, but I'm out here being a combo deck. You can't give combo decks unlimited time. I do think Narset is better than Dress Down. I guess I could Dress Down a Primeval Titan, but if that's happening, I've already lost. Okay, this is my plan. Narset just digging for the combo pieces. It's going to be an important part of winning the match. Well, that's not really what I meant. I'm going to keep the hand, though. Wish it had a Wasteland. Show me Wasteland. Endurance. Just going to play Triome and pass. Just kept a double Cloud Poster. Brainstorm, show me Wasteland and Loam. Shit. Alright. We're not winning this game. I needed that Brainstorm to deliver something, and instead it delivered nothing. A Shuffle. Shuffle Strix could still hit Wasteland this turn. think that's better than jamming Endurance. Oh, it could be Crime Time. Not that I think Crime Time is important or going to win me this game, but that could be what time it is. All of my black sources are in play somehow, just by happenstance of how I fetched. I did not plan that. Discarded Beseju. They can copy Cloud Post, untap into 9 mana. Okay, they're copying my Triumph instead. I don't know if it's Relief or Terrifying. Oh, they're casting Primeval Titan. Okay. Yeah, that's worse. That's way worse. Just 1,000 times worse, and it's not even close. I would have preferred to play against Ulamog. We got a third Cloud Post and Yavimaya. Uro, look who came. Probably way too late. They have 4 cards in their hand. I could get rid of 2 of them, but at the expense of my entire life here. Alright, I'm giving up on Raven's Crime. That's not what this game is about. I've probably already lost. The fact they didn't tutor up Ayavugan is terrifying in its own right. There is a Teferi. Not helpful where I currently stand. Yeah, they can attack with Prime Time, get 2 more lands, including Bojuka Bog, if they even care about my graveyard at this point. But with their zillions of mana. Bojuka Bog and Vesuva by graveyard. I'll block the Prime Time, at least get that out of play, and then die to the easily hardcast Eldrazi, whatever it is. Oh, they're passing the turn. What the hell? What's going on over there? I hate that. Somehow more worried about that than if they had just killed me. I guess I'm going to Time Warp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 15, 16, 17. They had 18 mana and didn't do anything with it. They must be planning to like crop rotate for Ayavugan and kill me. Ugh. Alright, I think I'm going to hold on to the Time Warp and try to develop with Teferi and Endurance this turn. White, blue. All of my lands are green right now. I don't need to think about that for Endurance. I fully expect a crop rotation here. And I'm going to force it and hope they don't have 2. Okay, they had 2. Then they get Ayavugan and just easily win the game. Okay. Yep. No surprises there. This matchup is just utterly heinous. And if you don't get an early Wasteland and loop it, you're just never going to win. And the combo kill did get us a game, which traditional Dark Bant would not have won. So closer to victory. Thanks, Time Warp. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the play in round 3. I'm going to keep. I'm just going to lead on Triome and ship it. I don't know what I'm pondering for yet. If they waste me, I can work my way up to the Life from the Loam, and we could just replay turn 1 over again. It's not a huge setback on the draw, or on the play. Noble Hierarch. I'm happy to kill that creature. I'm pretty sure casting Plow and Ponder is a better use of my turn than casting Baleful Strix. Alright, Uro and another land. 2 of my favorite things to see. With Jace underneath them. I'm going to draw Uro. Oh, you're poison. Alright, maybe I wanted to save that Swords to Plowshares. Sylvan Library, jeez. That's a magic card I have not seen in a long time. I guess I should get this Baleful Strix into play. Yeah, the texture of this match has just changed significantly, and I don't want Jace anymore. There's my Strix. Yeah, Uro, the insulation that Uro gives you against aggro decks does not apply against Infect, turns out. If they have Berserk, they can get through the Strix. Just took 4 there. I like that. And it means they didn't just pile up to 1 million. Okay, passing the turn. Okay, love Swords to Plowshares. I can Loam here, or I can hold up Endurance as a blocker. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass and hold up Endurance as a bonus blocker. But I can't Endurance and Plow. Endurance as a surprise attacker is probably better than Endurance as a bonus blocker. Yeah, I like that. Start pressuring the Sylvan Library. Wasteland and Beseju are both really good against Inkmoth Nexus. They're both really bad against Blighted Agent. I'm going to cast Endurance here. I am going to target them. I'm sure they don't want those lands in their deck, and also they might have become immense. Hey. Okay. I'm going to. I can destroy Sylvan Library and Blighted Agent, or I can kill Blighted Agent, mill myself, try to spike Wasteland. I think getting the library off the table is pretty obviously the right choice, though. Black and green, leaving up white. All of their pump spells do save the Blighted Agent, but if they're spending pump spells on their turn, or on my turn, then they're not attacking with those pump spells on their turn. Vigorate is cool. That's handled. They are a Daze deck, but I can still loam this turn and hit my land drop and play Plow. If they Daze me here, I'm probably dead. It would be pretty aggressive to do that and not have the win. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try not to play into Daze if I can avoid it. By letting them untap, that gives them Vines of Vastwood and Blossoming Calm with extra value. But I get to play around Daze if I survive the turn. Big if, I know. In fact, also sometimes plays like a 1-of Stifle, which is super fucking annoying that I have to think about that. Oh, they're moving in. Any protection spell is lethal here. That's still only 9 poison. Vines con queso. Let's hope they have nothing. Wow. Question mark. Concede the game? Concede the game? Any chance? Please cast Brainstorm. They have blue mana. Alright, no, just Ace. Alright. Okay, I'm dead. I haven't played against Infect in a very long time. This is kind of exciting. That library was good for 3 or 4 cards that game, plus the selection attached, and they ended the game with 2 cards in their hand. So, lost that one to library. Force of Vigor kills Inkmoth Nexus and library. Pernicious Deed kills their whole shit. Plague Engineer. All of the cards with Infect in Magic the Gathering have been errated to be Phyrexian creature types since they came up with the Phyrexian creature type. It just didn't exist for a while, but now it does, and I'm going to take advantage. Run Afoul is not bad. Raven's Crime can mess with them a little bit. Sorry, Time Warp and Trade Routes. Like, I'm not cutting it just because it's bad and the deck, I want the deck to be good. I'm cutting it because it genuinely doesn't make sense. If I had any, like, clunky anything in this deck, like Jace is getting cut here. This is the sort of match where this thing happens. I like Strix, I like removal. I like Endurance that can block. Teferi really bricks their ability to do anything. I don't think I like Force of Negation. Like, end of the day, Dust Settles, Force of Negation. Not among my best cards. I gotta cut one more, though. And my lands are all good. Beseiju and Wasteland both play. Could mean Narset. Though Narset is another answer to Sylvan Library. And maybe it's just Force of Will. As much as I like having Force of Will against combo decks, this is a combo deck that plays to the board. I'm going to keep and hope they don't have Sylvan Library. This hand is rolled up against just like a creature and some pump spells, but if they have any sort of engine or juke, I might be in trouble. Prismatic Ending also hits library though, so it's not even all that bad. And I'm on the play, so I can play around Daze when I Prismatic Ending their library. It's fine. We're good. I would like to get my Triome here, but Triome doesn't make white. Listener Elf off of a... Oh god, I played a land that doesn't fetch Savannah. I did not plan for that possibility. This is not a date. You can't Daze off of Savannah. Alright, I think I'm just going to take my medicine and get Tundra and cast Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, it's fine. Like, I don't want to get caught with only one white source available. Like, if their hand is Force, blue card, Invigorate, Berserk, then I lose the game. And I don't want to lose a game that I'm in pretty good shape of winning. Beseiju, Strix, Loam, all good cards. Let's play my Tundra and pass here. Inkmoth Nexus, okay. That is why I stacked the Loam above the Beseiju. Whoops. Alright, I'm just not going to cast a spell this turn. I do want that Beseiju. Wasteland, float, blue. They were in combat. Are you going to take your cheeky point? No blocks. I am going to plow. Normally I wouldn't. Like, I would just take my 1 poison, but The difference between 9 and 10 poison this game might get scrappy. Like, I don't think they're going to combo kill me. And if the game gets scrappy, I want to make sure I'm insulated as much as I can be. I'm going to get Tropical Island, then loam back these 3 lands. That aggressive Wasteland, hopefully that haunts their dreams. Their hand's probably full of cantrips. Uh-oh, found the blue source. Let's see how many Ponders get cast this turn. Or Blighted Agents. Wow, nothing. It's nothing. You have Stifle. Like, I picked up so many cards of this Loam, I don't even care if they do Stifle me here. Not Dredging Loam. Strix. Still not Dredging Loam. I can pick off an Inkmoth Nexus if I need to. Like, if they crop rotation and step for Inkmoth Nexus. Infect usually has, like, some small number of crop rotations. Oh, are they going to cast a fairy right now? Okay. Keep making me nervous. Still not Dredging Loam. Alright, deck. This is enough lands. With both Endurance and Beseiju up, I think I'm okay attacking here. They crop rotate for Inkmoth, I have that covered in a variety of ways. And I'm going to deploy the Endurance, just get my clock up here. Get rid of their graveyard in case of Become Immense. Mystic Sanctuary, okay. I've been specifically not fetching that because I don't think it's important, but here it is anyway. So now I can decide if I want Swords to Plowshares and just be mega safe, or ponder and try to pull ahead. I guess I'll grab the Plow and just insulate. I can always shuffle it away if I decide I don't want it. And I will hardcast Force on any threat that comes into play here. Oh, I am not threatened by that. Weird. Weird. Like, intensely reactive hand from my opponent right now. I'm not even convinced that Prismatic Ending should be in the deck against me. I guess they did see Baleful Strix game 1, and if they can't get Trample, that's hard to get through. All right. I mean, if my opponent has to bring in Prismatic Ending just because they saw Baleful Strix, that's really good positioning for me. Inkmoth Nexus finally arrived. Ponder, Brainstorm, and Field of the Dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Not Shuffle the Library. Not Dredge Loam. They Field of the Dead. With 2 fetch lands available to just zombie up. And I can Plow and Beseiju this Inkmoth Nexus and block it against their 5 cards in hand. So they need to get Endurance out of the way, survive the Swords to Plowshares that's face up, and then also survive the Beseiju that's face down. I am going to draw Brainstorm rather than make a bunch of zombies. If I win this game, it won't be by inches. Zombie. They are dead on board to damage, and I haven't left my shields down. Now I have a blue card to go with my Force as well. If I Beseiju now, they have to put an extra mana into protecting this thing, but they have to get through Endurance before I care about any of that. Let's go. They know about Plow. Let's start there. Force, pitching Force. I'm going to Beseiju in response to that. My Force is still chilling. And they still have to get through Endurance. I do have to do the Beseiju and the Plow before the Vines resolves, because then I can't do either anymore. Okay, that card's in the graveyard. We're good. Plow's countered, Vines fizzles. They do get a land. Oh, they didn't find a land. They only have these 4 lands in their deck that make mana. Interesting. And I'm just going to zombie up and kill them right now. Make sure I have different land names, and now I have enough that it doesn't matter. Probably wanted to Brainstorm on the way out, but that also doesn't matter. And drew a Swords to Plowshares for good measure. Dredging Loam there to both hit 2 zombie drops and put Beseiju back in my hand. If this game wasn't just already over, I would have done that. But I'm just trying to make sure I have time for game 3. On the draw, I think Force of Will gets a lot more interesting. Maybe Raven's Crime gets less interesting. I don't actually need both Loams in this matchup. Yeah, Force of Will in, bonus Loam out. I'm gonna run it like this. This hand I cannot keep. Mulligan. This one I wish I had black mana in it, but this is good enough. I'm gonna keep and send Loam to the bottom. Please don't elf me. Okay, good. Getting at least 1 extra draw step here. Black Source. I'll take Force. Not mad about that. I'm worried about some like ridiculous juke like Hull Breacher or something. Just wastelanding me. I'm not going to brainstorm here. I can still do better probably. So yeah, I'll brainstorm here actually. Like if I'm able to plan out whether I'm playing to Witherbloom Command, whether I'm holding up Plow next turn, if I can map this out. Okay, playing to Plow next turn. That's good to know. And Witherbloom Command is not happening ever. Also good to know. I have 2 lands, neither of which cast either half of Witherbloom Command. Nice deck, idiot. He says to himself. Okay. I'm going to let Agent resolve and try to plow it. Don't really want to spend forces where I don't have to. And I am just going now before they untap and can Spell Pierce or Flusterstorm or Vines. Also, I just remembered that Boseiju is, in fact, a land that taps for colors. So I do have half of Witherbloom Command available. We get there. Gonna Prismatic Ending the Blighted Agent. I'm still kind of holding on out hope for this Boseiju. This one I have to force back. If they had Daze, they would have started with that. 1 card left in their hand. Blighted Agent's gone. Okay. Plan's starting to come together, I hope. They're on the Noble Hierarch beatdown strat, which is not nothing. Like, it's kind of a joke, but also, if nothing else is going on, it will win the game. Black Source. Yes. Okay. Zagoth Triome casts either half of Witherbloom Command. Oh, any land off the top lets me command for max value. If I need to play Boseiju, then I lose a good answer to Inkmoth Nexus, but at least I've cast my spell. Field of the Dead. That's not a bad one. Okay. I'm going to play Boseiju. And target player mills 3, and I'm going to target myself and target their Noble Hierarch. Picked up Tropical Island. Didn't hit a new land. Raven's Crime did go to the bin. 2 lands in my hand, 1 card in theirs. 1 damage beatdown continues. I just doubled my clock, which I am serious in saying matters a lot. Just trying to get into the field here. I am going to crime and spend my Tropical Island to do it. They discarded a Tropical Island of their own. I'm going to save the Field of the Dead for as long as possible. Burrow cracks this game open. Even something like Ponder is good. Glistener Elf. Now they're on the Arnold Palmer. They've done all this work attacking me down for damage. Now they suddenly have an infect creature. Loam and Command are both insane here. Burrow's insane here. Most spells in my deck are good here. Even the lands are not the worst. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This land can become spell. Yeah, that's Mystic Sanctuary, which can pick up Plow and bridge the gap into Field of the Dead next turn. I hope. Unless they've been sandbagging a Berserk and just drew the Invigorate, in which case I'm dead. Wasteland, that's pretty good. 2, 3. I am actually going to respond to that while I still have 3 islands. Mystic Sanctuary, a Plow backup. Or no, Witherbloom Command's way the fuck better. But I don't have a Black Source. Nope, Plow's way the fuck better. Disappointing. That would have been a really good Witherbloom Command turn. And there's no single card in their deck that can deal 10 poison to me right now. I will accept my 2 poison here. Draw the Plow. And I'm going to snap Plow off right now. If it finds the Vastwood, I want to do it now where it can't pump them. Field of the Dead, go. We are both top decking. They've had 1 card in their hand they've been protecting this whole game. We will soon find out what it is. There are almost no bad draws in my deck. Force of Will doesn't really help me on this board. The fetch land is insane. Any Planeswalkers busted. Okay, yeah, there's the fetch land. Now we're just in Zombie Town. Feels good. Oh no, feels bad. Suddenly back in Poisonville. I will fetch a Black Source, get a zombie though. Loam cracks this game open. Witherbloom Command. Alright, Narset. Never unhappy to see you. They could have hardcast Force of Will there, and they didn't. Just trying to figure out what this card in their hand is. Ah, fucking Plague Engineer. See you later, Plague Engineer. I miss you, and I love you. I think ponder looking for another removal spell is where I want to be here. Okay. The Witherbloom command is really good. Yeah, I'm in. Okay, do not mill my, or do not shuffle. I'm gonna mill myself, clearing those other 2 lands that I actually don't want, and then... Oh wait, Boseiju is here in play. Shit. Why did I think Boseiju was in my graveyard? That must have been last game. I can pick up the Zagoth Triumph. Didn't hit my Wasteland. Do I think Triumph is better as a land or as a cycle? It's better as a cycle for sure. That's actually not even close. Attacking with my creatures. They don't need to block. I don't think I'm going to lose this game to Noble Hierarch. So if they do double pump spell Noble Hierarch, that could be a problem. Okay, if they attack me or Narset will tell me a lot about this game right now. They know my shields are down. There are lots of 2-card combos that could kill me here. Okay, just 2 poison. Didn't bother with Narset. I like that. Prismatic Ending, that doubles my clock versus the Hierarch. Run afoul, hell yeah. That's why we boarded it in. I guess I can cycle Triome before I do anything else. Cycled into Swords to Plowshares. That's what we pay the big bucks for. I'm going to Swords to Plow, or Prismatic Ending the Hierarch. That constricts their options. Like, they can't pivot onto damage attack anymore. They can't... It restricts just their mana as well, like the number of things they can do in a turn. JK, it's back. Same shit, different toilet. I believe that's all their Noble Hierarchs. Yes. Do I want to attack with both zombies? I think I want to leave one back, because if they draw a cantrip, I want Narset to mess it up. With my mana right now, I can hardcast Force and Plow and Run Afoul while I'm pushing for damage, and they're playing from behind, and I have Narset locking things up. Sure. Listener Elf is the least of my concerns right now. Heal the Dead, too good. Ooh. This card is not particularly beatable. I should tap smart. There is a colorless land in play. I'm gonna send the Noble Hierarch back. I'm actually more worried about that than the Glistener Elf. And push for 1 damage. Or 1 zombie's worth of damage. Now they can't play pump spells in like any kind of way that would surprise me. They have to main phase it, then I know exactly what I'm dealing with. I know all my removal will resolve. Didn't want to trade their elf for a zombie. Probably the right call. Oh yeah. Fetch land just puts us into farther into the field. Now I can attack even harder. They're at 4. They didn't block. They're still playing to win. As soon as they start blocking, they're playing to not lose. Invigorate. Right, I can still block that. If they have Berserk, that's like really the only card they could have. I'm just going to counter the Berserk. If I Swords to Plowshares, they gain a 5 life, and then this game goes longer. So I'd rather just counter this. Nice. Okay. It may have actually been Berserk, that one card in their hand that they were protecting for the whole game. Not playing sandbagging lands around Raven's Crime. It probably was Berserk. We're on the board. On to the next round. I'm on the play for round 4 with a hand that it's a full house. We got that. With a 3rd land, this like absolutely farms any fair deck. Without a 3rd land, it's pretty bad. If it's combo, we're just dead. I'm gonna keep. You know I love keeping fair card draw hands and hoping we're not playing against combo. That's like half of my brand. Opponent kept 7. I also like strongly associate this with the Awakener avatar for some reason with combo decks. Let's see if that holds up. I don't know who hurt me to make me think that. Oh god, please be that Zoo deck that top-8'd the challenge. Badlands. Thoughtseize. Good luck, have fun. Took one of the plows, that makes sense. I'm not gonna fetch. Yeah, alright. I'm not gonna show them that I drew a 3rd land. If they do, like, reanimate a Grizzlebrand or something this turn. Ooh. Nasty. Alright, this is some sort of scrappy deck. Thoughtseize and Wasteland. Oh, fuck yeah. Congratulations. Yeah, so this is some kind of... I'm trying to figure out what they are. Is it, like, It's got to be some sort of Young Pyromancer token deck. A combo deck wouldn't have Wasteland, and a normal, like, fair, like, Dead Guy Out style deck wouldn't have Cabal Therapy. Yeah, there's something going on over there. I think it's some sort of token deck. Gonna have to, I think, shuffle this. I'm literally just looking for lands. Cool. Against this Wasteland deck, I'm not gonna keep 3 non-lands when I'm just trying to get up to 4 lands and escape an Uro here. Faithless Looting, okay. We're going to discard Lingering Souls. Is my read correct? Started Village Rites and Plains. Found another Wasteland. Jeez. Alright, yeah, they're pretty committed to just keeping me off mana. Life from the Loam is game over, I think. Loam? Wow. Alright, I'm running out of land drops to make. My opponent's over there probably like, oh, come on with the land drops. And I'm like, come on with the land drops. Time for Young Pyromancer. Plateau Badlands, so it is a Mardu duck. Told ya! I'm gonna plow this thing. Fetch Tundra to do it. They knew my card was plow. I'm hoping the second plow cleans them out if they just committed to working through the plow. It's Zagoth Triumph. Let's keep these going. Land drops, land drops. One more land and Uro gets to ride. Okay, let's hope that they are proud of themselves for flushing out the Swords to Plowshares, and now they're gonna... What, Bedlam Reveler? Like, what do you do here? Just don't waste me, bro. And if you do, I hope I draw Life from the Loam. There's a Lingering Souls. We knew it was in there somewhere. Bedlam Reveler. Wow, it's like I know things about things. I'm gonna plow this thing and draw a land to escape Uro, and then we're good. Land to escape Uro, and we're good. Come on, deck. Land to escape Uro, and we're good. Green, green, blue, blue. I'm gonna leave one of the Uros still in the graveyard in case they have white removal. Ooh. I think I should just put this in, even though it's not active. Keep these lands coming. I am a Field of the Dead deck. Alright, do you have white removal? And do you have it right now? Are my 2 questions for you. This looks like Prismatic Ending. They're lining it up. Yep, Prismatic Ending. You got it. Alright, fetch land redeploys Uro. Ponder redeploys Uro. Regular land does none of the above. So it does come into play for Field of the Dead. I now have 6 different lands. I'm reanimating my Uro so they can draw a card. That's fun. They get their 3 life back. That's literally just cycling. And I guess it like turns on Revolt if that's the thing they care about. They have Wasteland, but I don't think they even really want to use it at this point. Yeah, because if they waste me, then I can escape Uro. Flashback Faithless Looting. Sure, that's not how you want to spend 3 mana when your opponent is Hellbent in the mid-game. These reanimates are concerning. Oh my god, are you shitting me right now? This is kind of busted. Oh yes. Wasteland is out of the game. Do I want to pick up Swords to Plowshares? I don't think that I do. But yeah, Wasteland just got a lot worse. Greater Routes does target, so if my mana gets low enough, somehow they could... Alright, that was a good draw. But they are discarding 3 cards to get 3 cards. Not actually card advantageous at all. It's just cycling. These reanimates, what are you doing with those? Is there a Grizzlebrand in this deck, or are they just like for velocity? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can pick up Beseiju, cycle Beseiju, and still, or no, that I think I have to pick up the Sanctuary. I'm gonna target Sanctuary, and then I can cycle it, and then that's enough cards for Uro. And Loam's in my deck somewhere. Guard a land card to draw a card. Let's go. Wasn't really expecting trade routes to break open the Mardu whatever matchup. Okay, as far as lands I would like to still have in my deck when the dust settles, I'm actually going to cycle Basic Island and then leave Mystic Sanctuary in the deck for the inevitable Loam. And this Force of Will to back up my Uro is pretty fucked. Okay, they found a spot to wasteland me. Too little too late, I'm afraid. Oh my god. Good thing I left Mystic Sanctuary in the deck. Please don't have white removal. They do have another Faithless Looting in the graveyard. The Lingering Souls are still chilling over there. Queen Marchesa. No. Please don't have main deck Pyroblast as your one card left in hand. Marchesa is a reason to be Mardu. Like, in the Legacy format, there are not many reasons to be specifically this spread of colors, and Marchesa is one of them. Alright, land for Time Walk. Oh my god. They don't even know what's coming. It sucks that the Sanctuary is already dead. The combo is here. As long as there's a fetchable land left in my deck, and there should be several. Tropical Island. Let's do the Time Warp. Just a fair Time Warp here with the Uro. I mentioned this in the deck tech as well, of how messed up that is, even just as 5-mana Time Walk. It's still Time Walk. They've had enough. That was a study in why Uro invalidated black cards in the Legacy format for so long. They Thoughtseized me, saw 3 of the same card, Cabal Therapied, taking all 3 copies of that card, wastelanded me twice, and still just lost. Messed up. I have to assume this is a... Or maybe not. I was about to say it's a Hidetsugu Consumes All deck, but if you're a token deck, Hidetsugu Consumes All is kind of awkward. And by kind of, I mean extremely. I like Veil of Summer. I should probably respect Blood Moon. I have Hydroblast for that. Let's ignore the fact that Magic Online queued up 2 different arts of Hydroblast when I definitely own 2 copies of the good one. Thanks, Magic Online. Okay, Narset beats up on Faithless Looting. It also pulls ahead on these scrappy mid-range wars. Don't really expect Dress Down to be great. You're clipping a Bedlam Reveler so they don't get the redraw is pretty good, but also mostly whatever. I like the removal. I like Command, Loam, All Insane. I might like Swords to Plowshares less than I like Force of Will, number 2. Plow number 4 is worse than Force number 2, I think. Pernicious Steed actually cleans up tokens extremely well. Alright. There's more happening here. Okay, I'm going down to 2 Plows. Plow is really bad against tokens. It's really good against Young Peasy and Bedlam Reveler, but if they go wide at all, Plow is pretty embarrassing. I want all the tools available, but not necessarily in maximum numbers. Ugh. As good as the spells in this hand are, losing to Wasteland hurts me. I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, here we go. This plays around Wasteland like a boss. I have my actual basic land, and then Uro is the king of beating Wasteland. Let's hope they don't blind therapy Brainstorm. Ooh, who's the Wasteland deck now? Okay, just draw go against the Bant deck. I wish you well in that endeavor. It wouldn't surprise me if they boarded into something a little more hateful. Or, like, if they do have Consumes. Or if they're just, like, playing Protect the Literal Queen with Marchesa. Do I want Wasteland? I don't think I actually want Wasteland. Gonna have to play into Wasteland eventually. Might as well do it now. Gonna Uro to pull ahead. Oh, back up Uro. That makes Surgical better. I hate when I make Surgical better. I'm gonna make sure to put my land into play before I sack the Uro, which is how you should do it most of the time anyway, but especially now, because then I can at least Brainstorm and capitalize on the shuffle if they Surgical me. Basic Plains. Basic Swamp. Badlands. This looks like someone who has Blood Moon in their deck. And they found a good spot because my Beseju is currently occupied. Oh, Monastery Mentor. That's a good token producing creature. If they have Red Blast, I'd rather they commit to it now. And the Force plus Fetch gives me Uro right now. Fuck. Come on. Just pitched the Brainstorm. Had the Surgical. Why would you Surgical there? I mean, like, Surgical right now, like, on this board state is good, but specifically with Force of Will on the stack. Are you just checking if your Pyroblast is going to be good? Didn't understand that one. You know, doing it this turn is fine, but specifically right there is a tilt. I could play the Beseju as a land. No, I think respecting Blood Moon is probably too good. Drawing Veil of Summer is pretty exciting. They did just see my hand and it did not contain Veil of Summer, so they like jam him to Turok this turn. I actually get a blowout in the correct direction. All right, extracting my Force of Wills. All right, they're going to cast Marchesa this turn. That's what's happening. I got you. It's clearing the way for the Queen. I can Veil of Summer into Hydroblast. That's my out to Marchesa right now. Yep, okay. I'm going to Veil of Summer. This lets me draw a card, and I'm going to draw Hydroblast. All right. Narset is not bad as far as cards to play against the Monarch with. Yeah, let's Narset and draw a Plow or Hydroblast to clear out Marchesa. That sounds good. Endurance, not what I'm looking for. I think I have to give up on Beseju as a removal spell and just commit to it as a land. Gives me the most options right now. Ponder can still hit either of those other cards that I was looking for. Teferi is none of the above. Removal spell right now. Okay, I think we've lost. Yeah, with Uro out, my engines are turned off. I can still take infinite turns. I still have Field of the Dead. No, okay, there's still game to play. That was a lot of looks to brick on that many hits, though. Disappointing. Wasteland, okay. Not even super worried about that. Young Peasy. Reanimate, targeting Mentor, okay. Also good. I've been saying this a lot lately, and it's been true more than I care to admit. Maybe I can deck them. That has come up quite a bit lately. I'm gonna kill Marchesa right now. In their upkeep is when they have to use their own mana if they already had Red Blast, but before they have a chance to draw an extra Red Blast, please cast Reanimate. Ooh, second Mentor is scary. Do you have a spell? Now casting Reanimate's actually awful. Thought seizing me. Okay. I'm going to Endurance, but I can also Mystic Sanctuary this turn. I'm just deciding if any of these cards are actually worth sanction. I need to fetch a different island and then Mystic Sanctuary if I'm going to do this. I think Ponder is worth recovering. Like, I'm so far behind right now. I'll get Tundra and Mystic Sanctuary. Cover the Ponder. I basically have to YOLO into a sweeper at this point. Then Endurance. I'm going to target them. They do use their graveyard as a resource in a variety of ways. And then F6, you get my Prismatic Ending. Disappointed. Would have liked to kill a Mentor with this Endurance. Not meant to be. Ponder, let's go. Time Warp and Caracas. Not quite what I'm looking for. I have to shuffle this. All right, there's my land. I am definitely losing this one. They did a really good job maneuvering that Marchesa into play, and just being the Monarch has buried me. The Swords to Plowshares. I think I'm dead on board, right? I guess I go to 18 here. Pernicious Deed doesn't even clear out the Mentors. Whatever, I'll take my draw step. Let's play it out. Maybe they'll show me something else I haven't seen yet. They have any spell. But I don't know what red or black spell. All right, a Lightning Bolt. All right. They did not Lightning Bolt me. Terminus. Elful Strix. Okay. Another look. And concede. All right. You did it. Going super wide here. Monastery Mentor. Yeah, that is a good card. I guess I did board out some number of plows when I was frantically looking for plow on that stabilization turn. There's only 2 forces in my deck. The Trader Outs combo is kind of dope. Is this a Raven's Crime matchup? I don't think so. Dressing down Marchesa is huge. Just keeping the Monarch out of the game. I do like that. I have Hydroblast, though. I don't need Dress Down. That's not what we're doing here. I'm going to submit the same 60. Yikes. Not going to keep this one. Okay, cool. I do like this hand quite a bit. I think I want to send the Swords to Plowshares. Like, Plow is the more repeatable effect in my deck, or the most unique effect, or least unique. Plague Engineer is unique. So if I need to dig for one of these effects later, I'm going to draw to the one I have more of. And being able to hold up Veil of Summer turn 1 against the discard deck, fucking awesome. Get to play my basic land like I'm a real deck with a real mana base. I am gonna brainstorm in the end step here. No, I'm not. Just kidding. I need to hit a land drop. Okay, there we go. Now I'm suited up for battle. I was going to take my land drop, and if it is a land, just play it. And if it's not a land, brainstorm a card deeper in the deck. And it did, in fact, work out that way. Faithless Looting. All right. A strong start to the match. Starting Cabal Therapy and Arid Mesa, and then passing the turn. Deal. The third Beast Storm. Let's cast one of these. Nice. Narset is nice. This pile of Brainstorms, also pretty cool. Uro is great, obviously. I think at this point I can tuck the Plague Engineer and the Witherbloom command to play Tropical Island for my turn. And I'm just going to pass. I'm going to hide behind Veil a little longer. God, if they surgical my Brainstorms, they're probably gonna. Finally found a Wasteland. Oh, they're just slamming Marchesa. Is that the plan? Nope. Okay. Slamming Blood Moon? Slamming Mentor. Okay. Plague Engineer is on the top of my deck. Brainstorm. Plague Engineer only helps the back end of Mentor. Oh, I actually have enough mana that I could Plague Engineer and then Witherbloom command. If they have any spell that fucks it up. Okay, I'm gonna give up on Witherbloom command, and I think I'm gonna draw this Tropical Island. I'll hide the Plague Engineer. Fuck it, let's go. This is just really challenging to navigate. Like if they have any spell at all that makes a monk, and then they can flashback Cabal Therapy, which makes a monk for free. I am gonna shuffle this up. If I end up losing to a Parade of Monks because I got rid of my Plague Engineer, that's life. Or maybe I can win the game because I cast Narset. Narset, find Swords to Plowshares, maybe? Swords to Plowshares? Yeah, Swords to Plowshares. This is kind of tough because they can Wasteland me and slam Marchesa. Village Rites straight into Narset. I guess they do get one card off it instead of 0. Fair enough. Basically just cycled Village Rites. If they do have Marchesa, I hope they don't have a land, because if they Wasteland jam Marchesa, I'm fucked. If they don't Wasteland or don't jam Marchesa, I'm okay. Still, oh wait, they have to do it first main, so that's actually fine. No, we're good. Yeah, I don't care if they do cast her after combat. Maybe I should have. No, I can't float Veil there. Yeah, now they can rip me apart with Thoughtseize. Yeah, they did play around Veil extremely well. They took my Hydroblast, played Blood Moon. That's pretty strong. I do have a second Hydroblast in the deck. Yeah, they maneuvered this game extremely well. Narset, find the Hydroblast. Narset found Brainstorm. The second Narset's not going to help me here. Brainstorm? Uh-oh. I think we might be dead. Yeah, I'm just Brainstorm locked. They found a great spot there to... I was worried about Marchesa, and they're just like, fuck you with a Blood Moon. See what the follow-up is. If this is Marchesa, Mentor is also really bad. Trade routes can actually help dig through this. Trade routes. I can pick up and discard lands. Oh, check this out. Return basic island to my hand. Land for turn. Woo! And I'm gonna discard a land card to draw a card. That's the Uro. And then I have to pass the turn for now. I have Brainstorm available. I can pick up and discard this Tropical Island in the end step. Like, the question is, am I going to win this game? Oh, just jamming Faithless Looting into Narset. Could have attacked first, not interested. They just want to be hellbent, apparently. Yep. I also would have discarded 2 lands for free. Probably still going to lose this game, but that did happen. Okay, I think I want to Brainstorm in response to this. I can hide these cards. I don't think they're going to name any of these cards that are in my hand. If they do name Uro, I'm not mad about it. They named Ponder. Yep, that card's not in my hand. I wish. I would have hid Ponder on top if I found one, by the way. Oh, The shame post-combat attack Narset. Let's trade routes. Discard Mystic Sanctuary. Try to dig into that other Hydroblast. Guard a land card. Oh, wait. Can I time walk? Float 1, bounce it, play it, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can time walk. Is that even good? I don't care if it's good. It's sweet. I have never in my Magic career danced around a Blood Moon with trade routes in a single basic land. This is basically just cycling, but I get to keep the land in case I need it. I can still cast Narset. I can cast Jace due to this interaction. All right, come on, Hydroblast. Come on, Hydroblast. Life from the Loam. Yeah, you're not helpful. This game is just like completely over if I don't find Hydroblast, so I am gonna be like pretty aggressive about it. Okay, and I'm gonna pass for now. I don't want to lose my Hydroblast to a discard spell. If I break free of Blood Moon, my hand has Loam in it, so I'm just like juiced up for the future. Guard the Bayou. Prismatic Ending, so close to being helpful, but not really. Underground Sea, thank you for your sacrifice. Force of Will. That could keep me alive a little longer. Okay, bounce my Tundra and then eat it. Plague Engineer, also not helpful. I can discard Uro to hand size, at least that one's free. Is 2 lands enough to function on? And Loam is my only play right now, so yeah, let's pick up the Trop. Be ready to discard it. Endurance, not helpful. Discard Trop. Draw Misty. I'm going to play the Misty so I don't have to go to discard twice. Discard 2 cards. Like, I can pick it up and discard it next turn. Or, like, in their end step. There is a Hydroblast in my deck somewhere. Thoughtseize. Bummer. I have nothing to say about that other than bummer. They would probably take my Plague Engineer, or they would take the Force of Will for their next good spell to resolve. I think Plague Engineer and Force of Will are the 2 possible takes here. But yeah, Force of Will. Good choice. Attack for 5, I'm at 7. Bounce a Misty and cycle it. Caracas. Cycle Caracas. Oh, whoops. Accidentally played Caracas. Cycle Pluto Delta, I guess. Forgot to click the card in between. Cycle Field of the Dead. Found another Loam. Alright. Yeah, the window closed. It was a weird window, but it was a fun window. Any spell destroys me. Or any Marchesa kills me also. Okay, that was a pretty interesting game. But yeah, just clowned by Blood Moon. I probably got a little... What did I do? I cast Narset. Yeah, I think I got a little proactive. If I just settle in Veil of Summer and then they can never Thoughtseize the Hydroblast and then I have it for the Blood Moon, I probably got a little impatient, a little arrogant, and just tapped out for some powerful spell and gave them a window to operate that I didn't need to. I'm sure that match was winnable. Handful of lands and spells in round 5 on the draw. I'm going to keep Ancient Tomb, Defense Grid. Playing against a lot of defense grids lately. I guess I should cast Force of Will. Pitching Force of Will, revealing that I have very few forces left in my deck. I can brainstorm into Force Blue card if I need to. Or a green card if there's some sort of graveyard combo deck, which I guess is my best hope at this point. Chrome Mox. So this deck has enough colored spells to support Chrome Mox. That's unusual for a defense grid deck. Or at least for an Ancient Tomb deck. What the hell is going on over there? Please don't cast Blood Moon. I am not ready to do that again. Uh-oh. Oh, it's Manamorphose. Alright. I think I played against this opponent recently. They're on some like crazy Storm deck. I believe I lose if Bergie resolves. I'm gonna fetch... Shit, I shouldn't have fetched. Never mind. Zagoth Triumph resolves. I think hoping to survive this turn and then brainstorm. Yeah, okay. Step 1. Ooh. Brainstorm for Swords of Plowshares or just cast Witherbloom Command. So Killing Chrome Mox is not that sexy. I'm gonna brainstorm. Nothing. Nothing at all. I guess I did find a green card for Endurance, but I had one already in Witherbloom Command. Yeah, that was a swing and a miss. Let's hope these 3 cards in their hand aren't that great. Okay, guaranteed at least one of them is what they want. I suspect Echo of Eons is in my near future. Please don't put Echo in the graveyard. Shit. Straight into the graveyard. Lotus. Oh, they passed priority. You passed priority. Dang. I guess there's no way not to pass priority with Bergie in play. Cool. Okay. There's that. Let's hope their last card in hand is Lionside Diamond, and we just have to beat Bergie beat down. Which is not nothing. This game is unfolding before us here. In a way that I'm not really set up to fight yet. Swords to Plowshares, Prismatic Ending. Ooh, Baleful Strix. I am happy with that one. It blocks Bergie and might still produce Swords to Plowshares. Okay. Uro, happy with that one as well. If my read on Magic the Gathering Legacy format is accurate, their hand is Lion's Eye Diamond. Or a second Echo. I can Witherbloom Command 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I want to Witherbloom to kill Chrome Mox and pick up a land. I think that's better than Uro. I'm going to target myself with the Mill because they are a graveyard deck. Actually, I think destroying Lotus Petal might be better. Oh no, if they have City of Brass. Yeah, I think destroying Lotus Petal is actually better somehow. And by somehow, I mean because blue turns on Echo of Eons as a live draw. But if their hand is the Lion's Eye Diamond, like I think it is, then Echo is a live draw anyway. Oh no, don't draw Gamble. Draw for turn. I drew another Uro. I can Uro. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to fetch for... Oh no, I want the... Oh no, okay. Figured it out. Okay. I'm going to fetch Tundra. And then I'm going to fetch Mystic Sanctuary. I'm going to put Force of Will on top of my deck. And I'm going to cast the front half of Uro. Put Force of Will in my hand. And I am threatening the second half of Uro next turn. Still no attacks with Bergie. Still happy about that. Still drawing to Swords to Plowshares in my deck. In there somewhere. Okay, here's Uro. Left white up in case I find a plow. Oh, Boseiju is probably great. That beats Defense Grid if they've been setting up a Defense Grid line. And now I can start attacking. And next turn I can attack, Time Warp, attack. And that either kills them or kills Bergie. They played Shatter Skull, tapped, and passed the turn. That's good for me. I'm going to attack first, see what they want to do. I'm going to put Boseiju in. I don't think I'm going to need it as a removal spell for Defense Grid. I have plenty of mana already. And the Prismatic Ending, I think, is just lethal. Warp. That was awesome. I fucking love casting Time Walk. I'm going to fetch Savannah. I'm going to Witherbloom Command. I'm going to destroy Chrome Mox and dome their face. Then Prismatic Ending the Bergie with Force of Will backup should be lethal. I'm not great at math, but I'm pretty sure 3 minus 7 is less than 0. That was a weird game. Yeah, the passing priority on your gamble turn is really tough. I did not expect Endurance to actually save the day there, and it did. Okay, this is a graveyard deck. Leyline, Surgical. I like Pernicious Deed, Narset, Hydroblast, Flusterstorm. Force of Vigor is a little awkward because Defense Grid is one of the artifacts or enchantments I want to destroy, and it lines up extremely well against Force of Vigor. Or one for the bad guys. That Bergie did chill and play for most of the game, but I still don't think that's a reason to have Swords to Plowshares in your deck against Storm. I have other answers to that or other ways to construct them. It is definitely correct to board out Time Warp and trade routes. I'm deciding if I'm actually going to do it for the sake of the video. I think I am. I'm trying to salvage a 2-3 record here. The Time Warp was dope that game. Though, Do I need Loam? Do I want Raven's Crime? I could cut a Loam and bring one of them back, and no, I don't think I'm trying to bring them back. Raven's Crime is a card I should probably consider. I am gonna stay away from it, though. If I Raven's Crime them and they discard an Echo of Eons, I'm quitting Magic, so let's just avoid that possibility. Okay, Force of Will and 2 pieces of Graveyard Hate, I'm gonna keep. This hand's kind of awkward, like, I'm never casting this Witherbloom command, but the hand does do things. City of Brass. They do have Defense Grid. Believe that is worth fighting over, because Endurance and Surgical do both play against the deck. I'm just going to Wasteland. They're also a mana-hungry deck. Let's try to beat up on that front. Another City of Brass. I will definitely say that I think you should only do one goofy thing with this shell. I think the shell is already just, like, barely balanced. The mana required to play regular Dark Bant compared to, like, the greed of the mana base is, like, pretty savage. So, well, there's Berkey. So adding colorless lands in the form of Field of the Dead and an essentially colorless land in the form of Boseiju, I think those are both a lot worse than they're worth. Ooh, this hand has gotten awkward while I was busy talking. And if you're going to also add the trade routes thing to it, I think that if you just took regular stock Dark Bant, you wouldn't have... Oh, the Berkey's going to fuck them up again on this. Oh, no, it's not. Nope, that's not how this works. Is there a way to force a priority interaction here? I don't believe that there is. Okay. Disappointing. I think I want a Surgical Gambles on the way through. It builds Storm and does 2 damage to me, but at the same time, Gamble is an important part of their deck. Oh wow, Teferi Time Raveler. You sicko. Ruth. I feel like I've looked at this deck list before. I think I've Surgical this player in the past. 4 Defense Grids, 2 Teferis, an Entomb, 4 Gambles, Galvanic Relay, Grapeshot, Tendrils, no Burning Wish, so they do have to win with the cards that are in their deck. 1 Grapeshot, 1 Empty, 1 Tendrils are the win conditions, and attacking with Berkey. Alright, off we go. Hydroblast, I'm happy to see. Deed is nice if they have to go Goblins, but I don't have green or black, so Deed actually doesn't beat Goblins. Or target permanent if it's red. How about Berkey? Anyway, to finish my thought before my opponent started rudely comboing off on me, I think if you're going to add Field of the Dead to this deck and dilute the stability of the mana, then your spells really need to hard carry. And if you're going to add cards like Trade Routes and Time Warp to the deck, then you need to make sure that your spells are all castable. I think adding the Field of the Dead angle and the Time Warp angle to this list is kind of a double pinch, just hurting it in 2 different directions. I'd be cool with one or the other. They found their 1 of Entomb. Dumped another Echo. We're going for another spin here. Nothing I can do about it. There's a defense grid in play. F6. Ending can remove Berkey if a turn comes back around. Found Grapeshot. Oh, they have Harnfell. I missed the Harnfell appearing under the stack up here. Yeah, I'm not beating Harnfell. Storm is 15, 16, 17. Okay, I'm dead. I'm not going to make them click through this. I've played various versions of Ruby Storm and Epic Gamble and Gamble Storm and all of these on the channel. If you think my opponent's deck is cool, go check out those videos from my past. Okay, does new information change my interest in Swords to Plowshares? I think Life from the Loam got a lot worse. Swords to Plowshares got better. Witherbloom Command picking off Defense Grid. I'm finally on the play and know what I'm playing against, so I can plan for that a little bit. Is Uro important? It pitches to both Endurance and Force, but I think I'd rather have the Plows. The second Plow is better than the third Uro. Okay, I'm going in like this. This hand is not interactive at all. Okay. Sometimes you have your fun of 1 of Leyline of the Void. Let's hope it's good. I'm not sure what this deck needs to do to function through a Leyline. Certainly seems hard to build Storm when you can't Echo. Oh, they're on a Malta 4 as well. They're on a Malta 3. Oh my god. If I lose against a Malta 3 with Leyline backed up by Force of Will, I think that's the end of my career. Just have to pack it up. This is where Bant's lack of clock is going to hurt me a lot. Like, your opponent's on 3 cards, you have all the angles covered, but surprise, you can't actually win the game, and then they're going to draw up to 7 cards and just storm out anyway. I do have the Uro in my hand, but if I have to pitch it to Force, then obviously it's gone. And now I have 2 Uros. I need a land to go with them. Maybe they'll tap City of Brass enough that they just die. That's currently my win con. Shit. Drew a Force. I mean, having Force blue card in this spot is comforting, but also I would really like to be attacking my opponent. Okay, that's actually good. No, it's not. Shit. I forgot Tundra can't cast this card. All right, Zaggoth Triumph, go. Whoops. I was just going to dome them for 2 and pick a land back up, but yeah, my lands don't do that. Yeah, the mana in this deck is tough. Okay. Didn't need it. I think I just want Tropical Island. And I could front half Uro here. Yeah, I'm going to front half Uro. That uses up one of my forces, but I think that's okay. And by uses up, I mean takes me off. Like, I can't double force anymore, but I didn't really want to do that anyway. And if they play something like Chrome Mox or Defense Grid, the Witherbloom command can just smush it. I go upstairs with command. I'm going to mill myself and deal 2, drain 2 from them. The Leyline makes milling them not so bad, but it just doesn't make sense to do that when I'm trying to fuel my own Uro. Okay, the mono kill myself mana base is starting to take actions. Rite of Flame. I'm morbidly curious where this is going. Okay, I can Force of Will through Defense Grid. That's not a huge deal. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. We're just emptying the Warrens for some medium amount. Oh, Relay. Okay, sure. That's a good one as well. Manamorphose, Echo, Petal, Relay, Defense Grid. Okay. Yeah, I think I just shove Uro into play here and move it forward. Just hope I don't die. Brainstorm first. Prismatic Ending clearing out Defense Grid is pretty nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hydroblast also not bad. Swords to Plowshares and backup Uro can leave my site. If this Uro hits a land, I can exile the Defense Grid. How'd we do? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna commit to zapping this Defense Grid because if they spend time casting the other one, that's life and mana that they're committing to the situation with their painful mana base, and if they don't, then I have Force of Will. These LEDs can be used to cast these cards in exile. That's pretty powerful. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. Yeah, they can definitely Defense Grid and then also Echo. Great, 11 mana. And I didn't force the grid. I probably should have, though. Like, if I assume I'm going to get echoed this turn anyway and get a fresh 7. Okay, yeah, that... Oh, God, I have 2 force in my... What the fuck am I doing? Wow. Yeah, I just, like, committed myself to getting Defense Gridded and just didn't even really think about it. I'm going to lose this game. Yeah, if I force Defense Grid, force to Fairy, then that's it. But now I'm just going to get echoed into the earth. Wow, it's been a long league. That was so bad. All right, here's Echo from Exile, and nothing I can do about it. Maybe stop. Just didn't get there. Sorry. Move along. That's what I want to hear right now. Wow, what am I doing? Yeah, I think like half of my brain still thought Defense Grid was in play, and the other half already committed to the Defense Grid being back, and the idea of forcing twice just did not even occur to me. Questionable. I definitely deserve to lose the game now, but let's see how far the opponent can take it. Romox pitching Relay. Please just Relay. Manamorphose, okay. At least my storm count, my life total is high. Like, it would take an extra 2 spells to Tendrils me, and I'm like miles away from Grape Shot. Not that this deck is incapable of doing it, but Grape Shotting me is tough from this spot. If they make goblins, I'm drawing live to Pernicious Deed and Plague Engineer. 2 cards left in their hand. They can still echo again from the graveyard. There it goes. Okay, there's Deed. This is such a disaster. And I put myself into the spot. Oh god, they found a Burgie. Stop burging. Yeah, Grape Shot is suddenly extremely accessible. The gamble is guaranteed echo one way or the other, because they can crack the LED if the gamble doesn't discard it. Deed's still in my hand. Please just make goblins and pass. Lion's Eye Diamond, Rite of Flame, Storm is 16. And Tendrils is super lethal at this point if they come up with one. Arnfell is good for 8 cards right now. LED, Rite of Flame, doesn't kill me. Chrome Mox, Galvanic Relay, doesn't kill me. Opal, Rite of Flame. Okay, they're out of cards. Teferi can they cast Teferi? Mox, Opal, plus Lotus Petal. They can Teferi, bounce Uro for a redraw. And then that redraw can discard 2 cards or discard to get 2 cards off Harnfell. Really hope they miss on Tendrils here. Grape Shot's lethal. I'm fine with empty. Moment of Truth. They hit another Echo. And they do have the blue mana to cast it from both Manamorphose and Lion's Eye Diamond. Ah, fuck, that was so close! There's the Echo. The front half. The back half still sitting in the graveyard, chilling. Yep, okay. Yeah, I threw that one. I just blinked for a second, lost track of the board state, and was just already planning for a world with Defense Grid in play, forgetting that it doesn't have to be. That was bad. Okay, this deck. My major criticism of it is that it's trying 2 new things at once instead of taking it easy. I think that the Trade Routes Time Warp thing is pretty powerful as far as like off-meta brew decks go, or like off-meta decisions you can make. The trade routes giving me all that utility under Blood Moon was really cool. Trade routes with Life from the Loam just drawing cards is really cool. We did actually Time Warp combo in a game that we weren't going to win otherwise. That did come up. I think that adding Field of the Dead and Boseiju to this deck that already struggles to cast its spells is a mistake. I would want to solidify the mana base around the core with Trade Routes and Time Warp, or don't do Trade Routes Time Warp stuff and maybe play some extra colored sources to compensate for Field of the Dead. Like, you have to treat Boseiju and Field of the Dead as spells when you're building your mana base for this deck, because they're not really lands. ETB tapped colorless mana is pretty close to useless until it's actually making zombies in this deck. And Boseiju as a basic forest that dies to Blood Moon is not where you want to be. This deck was cool, though. I do still like Dark Bant. The number of times, like, this brew aside, like, those are my thoughts on this brew. Pick a different thing you're going to try. Don't try 2 different things at once in a deck so delicately balanced. Those are my thoughts on this brew. Thoughts on the archetype in general. I think that one of these Life from the Loam should be a 3rd Witherbloom command. How many times in this league was I just like, if we had Witherbloom command, we'd be fine, but instead we have to force. The Witherbloom command is just like the reason to be these colors, and I would want to lean into that. I know Pokemoke is on 4 Uros, which if you're on Field of the Dead, and like, let's pretend for a second that we're leaning in on Field of the Dead. Cut Trade Routes, cut Time Warp, and those are 2 spots. You have 25 lands now. Cut Loam for Witherbloom command, and then cut something, maybe Narset for the 4th Uro. You could make like a pretty dedicated aggressive Field of the Dead deck with 4 Uros, or you could just cut Field of the Dead and play that many Uros. But I think that 3 Witherbloom command is where you want to be if you're going to be in the Dark Bant wedge of Legacy these days. It was a tough league. We got some weird pairings. I made some considerable mistakes, but that's Magic sometimes. This is the second video I recorded today. I'm 10 matches in with control decks, just one after the other. I also recorded Jeskai Control this morning, so forgive my misstep in the end of that last game. I believe the deck was showcased. The things the deck does were all showcased. We got to use Field of the Dead. We got to use trade routes as fair trade routes. We got to use Time Warp as fair Time Warp, and we got to combo with trade routes and Time Warp. Pretty good showcase for the list. You've heard my thoughts on it. Blankman, thank you for sending me this brew. Everyone else, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.